And I'd now like to introduce our next speaker, who is Theresa Jolly, who is going to talk to us about the Birmingham Zone Greenwave project update. Thank you very much.
Just in preparation for this, just wondering, who has seen, it was broadcast on the BBC a couple of weeks ago, a programme called Fighting for Air? Has anyone seen that? Hands up. A couple. Okay, so the ones that have seen that, you'll recognise a bit of this. Everyone else, it'll be new, so that's good. We've heard quite a lot this morning about the kind of strategic aspects to air quality, to data, to environment. Yeah, at a strategic level. This presentation is actually bringing two things that I'm quite passionate about together, slightly coincidentally, but I'm not going to give all that away yet. One is the aspect of journalism and storytelling to engage from a public ground-up perspective. And the other aspect is about using existing data that we have in more innovative ways. I'm DEF 153, but I'm actually working with Birmingham City Council for this Innovate UK funded project called Greenwave. And the key point about this is actually about using existing infrastructure to improve the environment. We're going to see through this presentation why that's important and also how we can look at this at a local level and its relevance and impact to local environments. There's a couple of clips out of the Fighting for Air programme. We're going to see a little bit of that relevant bit to this project in a moment. There's a lot of numbers banded around about the impact of air pollution on health. These are one of the ones, I'm not necessarily saying this is the exact correct figures, but they're certainly ones that are banded around quite a lot. I believe the source for this is from this Royal College of Physicians report. So air pollution causing 40,000 early deaths each year in the UK. And apparently 16 of our cities have illegal levels of toxic fumes. We heard a little bit earlier about particulates as well as NOx being part of that. This is just a clip actually again from that programme showing in different kind of colours the impact of air quality and air pollution on our local streets, both in terms of the environment space there, but also the emissions from vehicles. You can't see that too clearly, but the top left is actually emissions out of the tailpipe of a truck, and the larger scale vehicles is something that this particular Greenwave project has been working on, and we'll come on to that. So I've mentioned it. The programme, for those that haven't seen it, it was a 1-hour documentary targeting on air pollution, actually happened to be focusing on a community-led initiative that the presenter for the programme was supporting. The community in Kings Heath, here in Birmingham, to identify things they would like to do to change and improve the air pollution in their streets for one day. So it was the programme was following what they would like to do and how they would like to do it. And there's a clip of that hopefully, fingers crossed with technology, we're going to show you now, which leads us back into the Greenwave project.
At the top of the high street, James is busy trying to promote our big day by putting up an oversized banner. It looks like the wind is proving something of an obstacle. While James ties himself up in knots, Councillor Lisa Trickett has popped down to Kings Heath. She's got a surprise for me. She's actually managed to get the traffic light sequencing changed, although she's not the expert on how it works.
I'm not the person to talk to. I suggest we go and get Kevin in his bunker and have a conversation with him.
Who's Kevin in the bunker?
He is sort of in charge of traffic and highways. Hi, can I speak to Kevin? Lisa, Councillor Lisa Trickett.
As the penny drops. Hello.
Hi, is that Kevin?
It is, yes.
Zan wanted to know a few things that were a bit too technical for my liking.
Kevin, are you, with regard to traffic lights on Kings Heath, you're kind of God, is that right?
What we have got is this control centre. We've got sight through the CCTV cameras of what's happening to the traffic.
Birmingham's Traffic Control Centre is about to try an experiment here for the first time, syncing up the lights to keep traffic flowing smoothly. They call it a green wave.
if you hit a green light, you can move at a continuous speed along the high street and therefore not put out too much pollution. Is that the idea?
Principle of green waves is exactly that, yep.
That's really good. Well, that is amazing. The gods of traffic.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Such power.
Can you literally like change the traffic lights behind us?
Yes, we can change the traffic signals to green right now at the click of my fingers to Gary.
Some green. There you go.
And if someone pushes the button, a pedestrian pushes the button to cross, does that mess up the phasing?
No, it won't. There will obviously be time for pedestrians and cyclists to cross, but that'll be fixed in with the green wave timings.
Kevin, that's brilliant. Thank you very much indeed.
The only problem with making the traffic flow better is that drivers using sat-navs might be rerouted this way because the road is clearer. But I wonder if I can harness sat-nav technology myself. One of the things I'm going to try and do to prevent people driving their cars along the high street, which is a little bit naughty, but I guess I don't feel too bad about it, is I'm using one of the traffic apps, one of the navigation apps, to flag up that the traffic is worse than it actually is. I'm going to say that it's a standstill. I'm going to add a comment that this is a nightmare day for traffic here, and then other users will see that, and hopefully the app will route them somewhere else. Of course, this could lead to congestion elsewhere as people try to get around my blockage. I don't think I should do it every day, but I'm hoping today that will make the point that less traffic will reduce the pollution. Fingers crossed.
Okay. So I think that's woken everyone up a little bit. It's actually a really, really brilliant programme. That is slightly coincidental, I have to admit. That wasn't actually part of the Green Wave project. We got that in there. We're just trying to pull two bits together here. But the programme itself, I'm actually trying to chat with the BBC to try and get it released in some way as an educational tool, because the rest of the programme, if you get a chance to watch it before tomorrow on iPlayer, it's a really, really powerful approach for gathering community together to make a change in their environment. So they had a couple of universities working together as well, actually out there measuring pollution during the day. They had the community engaged, involving with stuff. It's a really, really solid, useful programme. But anyway, back to the point about Green Wave. Tying in a little bit to that, we've probably heard about it. I'm not sure Birmingham is really the only place doing this. Clearly it was relevant for the programme. But tying that back into Green Wave Project, you've got a little leaflet about it on your table. So I will fly a little bit through these slides because I know Becky's yet to speak. The focus of this Green Wave project, an Innovate UK funded project, started last April. Its particular focus is on large commercial vehicles. With respect to them burning quite a lot of fuel and idling at traffic lights. The concept of it is to link the UTC system and the traffic control at the Scoot junctions back to drivers in a smartphone app in their cabs, so that when the lights change, they can adjust their driving style and avoid the idling and the sitting and the restarting, just because they don't actually know when the traffic lights are going to change. It's expected to save approximately 10 to 15% on fuel costs, but also reduce emissions around the city. The particular relevance of this project, the partners are iDocs, provide the UTMT system for Birmingham through the AMI PFI, CheckSafe of building the app, which is actually for AMI's highways maintenance fleet vehicles, so the really large, the ARBs, the excavator trucks, the ones that are not going to get improvements on engine emissions through new systems. They're the ones that are not going to get the kind of, the next stage in technology for reducing emissions, so we're finding another way to manage that. And obviously, Birmingham City Council in terms of improving air quality in the city. You've got the slide on this, so I will flick through it. You can have a look. The main 6 aspects of this project, the innovation side, is fuel efficiency. So it's saving AMI fuel and cost associated with running those particular vehicles. The driver behaviour is a key part of this. So it's actually, by giving them more information on where the traffic lights are up to, and gamifying that process, can they actually improve the way that's working? saving costs, reducing emissions, and the practical innovation is the really key part to this. This is just a quick snapshot. We won't read it all, but it's just to give you a flavour of what the app's looking like at the moment, the kind of information that's available on that. So driver scores, green wave scores, braking scores, and acceleration. So it's taking data from through the kind of app itself, through the UTMC system, and also through the Masternaut system in the vehicles as well. Progress. So it was a 12-month programme. We started last April. It's taken until now to get the data talking to the app. This is not building a new technology. This is actually working through existing stuff, connecting it, making it work. That's been the challenge. What we have got, though, just literally in the last couple of weeks, is, I think, all 400 scoot junctions in Birmingham are now connected through this system. So basically, anywhere the drivers drive around Birmingham where the scoot junctions are, they will be able to receive this information. Just happening now is baseline testing. So this is the app in the kind of glove box, just so we're checking that it's getting the right stuff, but it's not, the drivers are not interacting with it at the moment. That will start in a week or so's time. And that testing is, the live field testing is the bit that's now going to happen between now and the close of the project. Because of those data challenges, which is the bit that we really, really mustn't underestimate, the projects actually need to apply for an extension to actually complete that. We expected to do it all within a year. We expected the 3-month part at the beginning to be dealing with the data bit and then have a 6-month trial and then a 3-month review. The amount of time it's taken to figure out that data stuff means that we're only just starting that trial now. So the application to Innovate is to extend that until the end of June, so we've actually got the chance to do the practice bit. So the next bit is live trial, live field testing, connecting the app data with Masternaut data and evaluating those aspects, and also reviewing. There's a gamification and kind of driver behaviour bit as well, so it's reviewing that a reward for drivers in the next few months. So I touched on this, lessons learned. Do not underestimate the challenge in actually connecting and making data from existing systems work. It's worth it, we think. Well, I'm perhaps sure it is, but you know, we thought it would be easy, and it's it's going to be much more challenging than we think it is. Engage fleet managers and drivers from the beginning, absolutely critical that they're on board. They've been part of the discussions. We've actually had to stop some of the testing earlier on because it wasn't quite ready, and we had the risk that they'd be kind of alienated from the process if they thought, well, what's this, pile of rubbish. So that was an important bit. And absolutely do small steps in an iterative process to make this work. That's certainly what we've learned from this. What's particularly special, it's created an architecture for linking existing systems together. That's really, really critical if we're going to overlay what we've already got and make that work better. Connecting it back into completing that circle of data's there, traffic signal information is there, but it's not available to the people that are actually seeing those signals. So it's completing that cycle of information. No new infrastructure is needed for this. You don't need to go and invest in new technology. You don't need to get a new system. It's actually working with what you currently have in a more efficient way. And the return on investment is the fuel savings and reduced emissions. So again, this is an example of not a direct benefit back to the people that are making the changes work, but actually from a wider level, seeing that change impact in time. In this case with Amy units at PFI, so it's slightly different, as in the benefits are really from them, but in other circumstances with other contractual arrangements, the same principles could be applied. If you're running an in-house system with local authority, then the benefits could be more direct. So I think hopefully that's given you a bit of a flavour. I'm happy to answer questions. There's also Andy Radford here from Birmingham City Council as well, who can also answer questions if people are interested later. So I'll close it there and over to Becky, I think.
Thank you very much.